Ah, yes, defeat. I feel it multiple times. So you guys probably wondering what happened here. To begin with, I started this challenge called Can You Beat Elden Ring with Only Jar Cannon? The answer is yes, but I can't. I believe someone already did it, but I kinda wanna try it myself. So I recorded the gameplay since April, but I procrastinated until June to feel somehow productive. Yeah, alright, anyway, so how do we do this? I used Jar Cannon the whole playthrough and that's it. Well, and Golden Vow, even though I didn't feel any difference. Those two are the things I use mainly in this whole playthrough. So, Jar Cannon located in Volcano Cave, which is pretty far if we start the game from the beginning. I need 23 strength and 12 dex to use it effectively, so before acquiring the weapon I went to Kaylee to level up. While I was there, I also acquired Radagon Sword Seal to increase my stats, and after reaching the requirement, I went to take down the boss to get the Jar Cannon. Jar Cannon is now acquired and it's time to try it on the first boss, which is Margit. Since my level a bit higher now, so I think Margit isn't a problem at all. I need to adapt with the slow recovery time, which is quite painful, but because Margit didn't deal much damage, I could withstand a couple of hits. It's better to shoot it from afar, but it won't prevent you of getting hit sometimes. But I killed him. First try though. So before fighting Godric, I got the essential talisman for this build, the Arrows Reach Talisman. It will increase the range of arrows and bolts, so it will be very useful while using a Jar Cannon. Up to the next boss, I'm fighting Godric right away. I can say Godric is much easier than Margit. You can always skip far distance with him, and there are only a few moveset he can throw at you. Especially since I already got the Arrows Reach Talisman, it makes this fight much easier. He also very generous at buying you some time to reload the cannon. Well, I beat him first try as well. After I beat him, I have to refill my ammo and the only accessible merchant is on Mountain Gulmnir. I picked Ballista Bolt since I'm gonna be focusing on strength build, but the cost is kinda expensive, so later at the game I used the Bone Ballista Bolt instead to save time and runes, because you can craft it. I tried to level up my Jar Cannon, but because I couldn't use the zip glitch, so it was only a +6 Jar Cannon. After the huge dub, I tried to buff my weapon for a bit, so I got the Golden Vow Edge of War and equip it to my dagger. Yeah, I used Edge of War because the incantations require some faith and I tried not to get over-leveled in this playthrough. Also, I managed to complete Vare's quest to get access to Mogwin Farming Dynasty. You know, I need a faster method to level up as well. I continue my journey to Raya Lucaria and here we are against Red Wolf Radagon. The fight is okay, nothing special about it. I died 3 times, but Jar Cannon is too powerful against him, so I took him down quite fast. If you not count the death though. But fighting a Tarnished type NPC with long range weapon always been a problem for me. But since we have explosive bolts, you can lure him outside and keep shooting him. Well, not a big of a problem honestly. Alright, so it's time to put Renala to sleep. At first I thought this would be difficult since you have to aim those kids carefully and you will get hit by their attacks when you reload the weapon. But apparently I made it to second phase. Honestly, she's much easier to fight in second phase. Not only she always got staggered, I could also shoot her in the very long range and her only move was summoning. And you guys probably already know that summon will despawn if you are too far from Renala. It's really an advantage for me honestly. Yeah, and I beat her first try as well. Next one is Draconic 3 Sentinel. Well, from my previous challenge, I learned the most effective way to take him down. I just have to be patient enough by shooting him once and run away. I'm more confident this time since Jar Cannon deals a significant amount of damage compared to Spectral Lance before, so he'll be down in no time. I was a little hesitant with his lightning that might hit me when I'm reloading, but eventually I killed him without even getting a single hit. Things were going smoothly and it's time for me to fight Godfrey. I was a little surprised because I died a couple times against him. Godfrey is supposed to be easy, but I think I haven't get used with the recovery time after the shot. Before I continue this fight, I decided to go to Kaylee to acquire the Arrow Sting Talisman, which is really important since it increased the damage of arrow and bolts. Right, back on fighting Godfrey. I think the best solution is maintaining the range between his attacks because you will get hit for sure after you landed a shot if you are too close to him. Luckily for me, this version of Godfrey is less aggressive, so he's just walking casually if you're running away from him. After a few tries, I finally beat him. He didn't took me long, but he did numbers on me though. Up next is Morgoth, but before that, here's a short clip of me clapping the Black Knife cheeks. Also, I got this blue Dancer Charm talisman to increase my damage even more, but in order to use it effectively, I have to drop my armor since the lower the equip load, the higher the damage output. But I ended up not using it, otherwise I have no protection at all, and using Jar Cannon means guaranteed hit by the enemies. I need extra protection and I wear the Lionel's armor instead. Okay, fighting Morgoth for real now. As usual, Morgoth is really pain in the ass and I died multiple times. I did try to cheese him with the shackle and it helps me pass the first phase faster. But I did reach his second phase without cheesing him though, so I think it's completely possible. Morgoth is fast. First phase is hard but still manageable, but on the second phase he becomes more aggressive and I only have a few openings on him. But most of the time I will get hit after I shot him, so things are getting harder here. There is only a single safe opening that allows you from getting hit. When he chanting the sword above him, that's the only safe opening. I did gamble a lot on this one, but I beat him at the end of the day. This is actually the first time I beat him solo. So I traveled around Limgrave and Liurnia, completed some of the Volcano Manor quests and got the Bull Goat armor. It has the highest poise in the game, so I thought it would be really useful for the future encounters. I usually got the Ritual Sword Talisman to increase the damage if I have full health at the moment. I took my time for a while to collect the rest of the Somber Smithing Stones, and finally made it to Jar Cannon to +9. Right, it's time to fight Fire Giant. Honestly, the fight wasn't that crazy difficult, but you need a lot of patience and to progress. The Jar Cannon is so slow, but Fire Giant is no better. And there are a lot of openings for you, and you can easily dodge all of his attacks in the first phase. Second phase is slightly harder. I realize his only weakness is his head and the giant eye in the middle, so if I shoot other body parts, it didn't do any damage. I died multiple times, but I could actually play it safe by shooting only his head from far distance. After that, the unexpected happens. So my friend offers me some help with him, and I thought I want to try play co-op to see how much damage I can do since the boss usually has more health when we play co-op. But yeah, we accidentally kill him. Sorry guys. On the side notes, it is possible to beat Fire Giant solo even without summoning. Right, so next one is Radahn. And this battle is actually pretty easy and not that special. The only problem is sometimes I miss the shot when he's moving, but I can overcome that at the end of the day. Beat him pretty fast, also first try as well. I went to Lindel Underground to fight Asgar and also to get the Lord of Blood Exhalation talisman. Because on Wiki, the jar cannon can also be buffed with blood affinity from seppuku, but I didn't use it at the end because it barely has any effect on the late game bosses. I don't know if my decision led me to my downfall, but if you guys think so, please let me know in the comments down below. I still have a lot to learn. Okay, we jump into Farum Azula and the Godskin duo waiting to clap my ass. Well, as you know, it's impossible to beat them without any help or using other weapons, so I decided to cheese them with Sleep Pot. Even with Sleep Pot, it won't save me from the slow recovery time, and they eventually gonna charge at me and when I was unprepared. But there are some windows of opening when fighting them 1v1. Surprisingly, it did really well even with a slow weapon like a jar cannon. And for the first time ever, I beat them solo. So here we are, right now against the most disgusting, not a good boy Malekith. I would say this is the most difficult boss in the game. Well, besides Radagon for me. The whole battle was so crazy, it took me more than 24 hours to deal with him. Not only he's fast, but he's also aggressive. I died hundreds of times until I found a way to get past his first phase. So, what I did is keep running around the arena and wait until he cast the ground rupture thingy. That's his only safe opening in the first phase for me. But sometimes he would just run towards me after the casting the spell. You will 100% get hit by him. I also changed my armor because having the high post against Malekith is very punishing. I have to lower the poise, so if I got hit, I can cancel the recovery time right away. Actually, on his first phase, sometimes he will give you some time to make distance. So I managed to get to the second phase now, and I would say it's just impossible without any help. Not a single opening, he can dodge the bolt now. He will charge towards me whenever I start shooting. My only option is to use Rot Pot, and it requires 4 Rot Pot to trigger the proc, effectively. Finally, I called my friends for help because I'm just really frustrated and I feel like there is no option for me. I almost went crazy for that one. And yeah, we somehow beat him, even though it took me like an extra 6 hours with my friend. Fuck you, Malekith.
Motherfucker! Yeah, see, I told you, motherfucker. Uh,
Mr. Gideon Offner is on the corner. The fight is a little harder than I expected, but it didn't take me that long, honestly. I could make distance with him and a bit more patience because he can easily dodge the bolt, so I had to wait for an opening. Or maybe when he casts the Comet Azure, I can shoot him right away. Okay, now we jump into the real shit here. Godfrey is tough. Even on the first phase, I still need to be careful whenever I shoot. He will charge towards you after the shot, so I need to make sure I was outside his attack range. The first quarter of his health wasn't a problem at all since it's the same moveset as the golden version. Now, the 1.5 Godfrey has become more aggressive. And his storm attacks cover the whole arena this time. At this moment, I have to endure his attacks as much as I can before phase 2. I did a lot, but eventually I made it to phase 2. At first I got overwhelmed and I couldn't land a single hit at all, and I almost seemed to give up. But after dozens of fights, I figured out a single opening on phase 2. It is when he did his war cry, slammed the ground and made a rupture. That's my opening. It's a bit risky, but it's possible. I still need to keep running away from him and maintain my distance, or he could chain attack my ass if I get too close. Also, I used lightning bolts because I was running out of my ballistas, and at the end I beat him, and that's probably one of the longest fights besides Malekith, but I can say it's a better fight. Okay, so I think this is where this ends. Radagon is the final boss, but apparently I couldn't handle him at all. I tried my best. This took me around the same amount of time as Godfrey and Malekith, but I couldn't find any solution against him. Probably has different outcome if I fought Elden Beast, but Radagon, the guy is just too unpredictable for me. I almost went crazy on this playthrough, and yeah, I decided to give up. The whole thing actually records me for like 7 days to reach Radagon. I don't know, I mean, the first couple bosses is just really fast, it's really quick, but I think when I reach Fire Giant, everything is just so slow and it took me like a couple times. But yeah, probably it's really obvious, but I don't know. Well, so that's what happened the whole playthrough. I failed this one and I feel bad, but I'm also relieved that I can stop this agonizing challenge. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and don't forget to give a like if you like it, give a dislike if you don't, and consider subscribing. Probably right now I already beat Radagon, but I didn't record it because it was like a while ago. Alright, that's it. Bye.